I'm good, thank you. Annette Rodriguez, Public Health Director. We're going to go ahead and get started with today's press briefing on COVID-19. So we have our numbers up, and so today we had an additional 25 cases. So if you look at the graph, it's kind of bobbling right now. If you go back to the 8, when we had single digits, 17, 19, 16 cases, and then we went up on a Monday. Normally we go up to 37, 20, 31, and 25. So we're really watching these numbers closely as we go into flu season. Next slide, please. So for our donut diagram here, out of the 20,434 cases that Nueces County now has, we have 19,467 that have recovered, which leaves us 557 active cases here in Nueces County. It's really important that these individuals isolate themselves so that they do not transmit the virus to anybody else. And we'll talk about the 410 deaths in another slide. Next slide, please. The hospitalizations, if you look at from 9/11, 2020, there were 95 hospitalizations at that time. At our peak, we had over 400 hospitalizations. So the numbers definitely look better, but it looks like we're plateauing right in the upper 70s. We've been at 78 for the last 3 days, but some people will get discharged and some people will get admitted. Next slide, please. These are ICU patients. These are patients that need more than just the typical med-surg care in the hospital. Some of these patients will end up on ventilators, and we know that some of these patients will end up losing. So on 9/11, we had 35 in the ICU, and today we have 32 still in the ICU for COVID-19. Next slide, please. We had 2 additional deaths today, which brings our number from 408 to 410. It was 2 males, one in their 30s and one in their 70s. Our condolences to the families of these individuals that lost their battle to COVID-19. Next slide. And these are the Nueces County daily COVID-19 cases, and it basically shows the normal bell curve. You see the low cases on the opposite end, and then you see the low number of cases that we are having currently. And then the higher peak right in the middle, and the middle of July was when we had the most number of cases, where we had actually 605 on one day, 500 plus on another day. The daily average now, if you look at the 7-day average, is 24 cases per day. And then the final slide, this one actually shows the cases, but it also shows the state data dumps, and these are in yellow, and so they put them on the actual dates that the labs were actually performed, and they're on the peaks. So while they don't change our bell curve much, they do change the height of the bar graphs. And the health district numbers are the ones in the blue. So that concludes the numbers, and I'll turn it over to Gabby to translate. Thank you.
En las últimas 24 horas se han reportado 25 casos confirmados por el coronavirus. 19,467 pacientes se han recuperado por completo. 78 personas continúan en el hospital. 32 están en la unidad de cuidados intensivos. 557 personas son aún casos activos. El día de hoy se reportan 2 fallecimientos. A la fecha, los fallecimientos totalizan 410 personas. Es importante, si usted es un caso activo por el COVID, se quede en su casa bajo cuarentena para evitar los contagios. El porcentaje diario de casos es de 24.
Thank you. So for the health district, we did have a drive-through yesterday. 32 individuals were tested and 7 tested positive, which brings us to a positivity rate of 22%, which is still relatively high. The Department of State Health Services notified us that this weekend, beginning Friday, September 25th to Monday, September 28th, over 21,000 positive COVID-19 lab reports will be sent to the appropriate jurisdictions across the state of Texas. These lab reports are older positive cases from March to August of 2020. This has the potential to significantly increase our number of cases here in Nueces County. Our staff will work through these lab reports to ensure that there are not duplicates and place them in the right months where they belong. We will notify the community of the number of older positive cases from what you hear me sometimes refer to as state data dump numbers versus the health district daily counts, which are currently so important as we go into flu season. We too get frustrated when receiving old positive lab slips, but are also grateful to receive all Nueces County positives so we can have a better understanding of what our actual numbers really look like. We ask the public to bear with us as we work to place these older cases in the current months to ensure proper reporting of the data. Some good news is that we do have our Luminaire software up and running, and so next week, for individuals that are needing to get COVID testing, we will be giving you a link that you will actually go on to, and then you can look at a calendar and you can decide what date you want to get swabbed, and you can click on it and you can register yourself on that site. You can also register yourself for flu drive-through clinics. So when we have some flu vaccine available and we open it up to the general public, you'll be able to go on to this link as well, the Luminaire link, and you'll be able to sign yourself up. Avoiding crowds, outdoors is always a better option than indoors. Stay at home when sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth with unwashed hands so that you don't infect yourself with the flu or COVID-19 this flu season. Stay strong, stay healthy, and as always, stay informed. Thank you.
El Distrito de Salud realizó ayer la toma de 32 especímenes, de los cuales 7 resultaron positivos, haciendo una tasa de positividad del 22%. El Departamento de Servicios de Salud del Estado nos ha notificado que este fin de semana, que a partir del viernes 25 de septiembre al lunes 28 de septiembre se enviarán más de 21,000 informes de laboratorio positivos del COVID a las jurisdicciones correspondientes en todo el estado de Texas. Estos informes de laboratorio son casos positivos tomados anterior al mes de marzo hasta el mes de agosto del 2020. Estos informes potencialmente pueden aumentar significativamente el número de cifras en el condado de Nueces. Nuestro personal va a trabajar arduamente para asegurarse de que no haya duplicados y colocarlos en los meses correctos a los que pertenecen. Nosotros también sentimos frustración al recibir tardíamente estos resultados, pero al mismo tiempo es importante contar con el número actual de casos positivos en el condado. Le queremos informar que contamos con un nuevo sistema llamado Luminaire, con el cual usted podrá hacer una cita para detectar el COVID o hasta para tomar una vacuna contra la gripe mediante una clínica móvil. La próxima semana le vamos a dar los detalles de un portal de Internet. Dado que el COVID-19 sigue siendo una gran amenaza para nuestra salud, especialmente ahora que muchos lugares han reabierto al 75% de su capacidad, existe un mayor riesgo de contraer el virus. Continúe tomando todas las precauciones sanitarias. Lávese las manos, use un cubrebocas, practique el distanciamiento social y evite las multitudes.
Thank you. That concludes our press conference. Are there any questions? No. So we will have our next press briefing next Tuesday. We are going to Tuesday only, starting next week. And we will have the mayor, we'll also have the city manager, Peter Zanoni, County Judge Barbara Canales, as well as Texas A&M professor Dr. Bird here and myself. Thank you.